Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kissy. I am going to do a reading today for the collective because there's some pertinent information. I have taken some time off to do other things, and I don't force the I guess I don't force it when spirit is not, what's the word? It's when spirit is more silent, allowing me to be more in my physical reality, being more present in, you know, just being, as opposed to being in spirit school, um, absorbing, retaining. It's almost like there's there's the aspect of myself that will do the things that I do, living life, and that's it. It's like, okay, this is, there's no thought about it. There's no meaning by that is, or I guess I could say there's no reflection of it in the moment. There's no um, not to say that, okay, not to say that that isn't being done, but it's like the antenna for it is turned off, or it's maybe slowed down, or in some way less active. And so it becomes more instinctual, habitual, or just active. And and then you get to a place of going back to the reflection, and it's like, wow, all these different lessons, or all these different understandings, or all these different um, growth spurts. Um, the reflection in real time, you can say, is more about the realizing in real time how the manipulation of energy towards a co-creative goal with spirit is actually changing things in your reality. You can see the spiritual intention manifesting into the reality. I feel like I said all of that to say just that. The manifestation in real time, and and being able to acknowledge it in real time, I think, is the point. Acknowledging that which was intended, or that which is actively being focused on being created. Okay. All right. So the muse. The first thing that came through was music pouring out. It feels like this energy feels like music coming out of your body, like an outpour of creativity. That's the vibe. But I also heard the muse, and maybe that's what that energy is. The muse. It feels very creative. This surge of creative energy, kind of pouring through all of the pores, being able to feel it all over the body. So it's like creativity at its best. So I heard this song. All right, so I had music in the background while I was preparing for the reading, and there's a group called La Banda Gorda, which is translated to the fat band. So it's kind of interesting to me because the song is called Bringing Fire. I bring the fire, but it's the fat band. So I thought it was kind of like funny, but it makes sense. It's I feel, I mean, take the energy as you will. It's just a matter of this big energy, this big unit of energy is bringing the fire. Take that as you will. Um, So the song came through, and I was almost going to skip it because it was out of my familiar. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I mean, if I don't recognize a song right in the instant, I might be inclined to like just on instinct change the music. But I didn't this time. It's like I stopped and I said, it's basically like, let me be open to what's coming. And in doing so, the song is a very popular one that I've seen on a lot of these TikTok videos. You know, they put these like real short trailer clips of a movie or of scenes of movies. And it's the song by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. And it's called Die with a Smile. But it's the part where they say, if the world was ending, I want to be next to you. Now, this song in itself gave me the impression of like this connection with the divine masculine. This it's almost like this connection between the divine feminine, divine masculine that is manifesting, that is coming through, is the maybe this outpouring of creativity or this fire. It's like the transformation when the world, you know, if the world was ending, I want to be next to you. I want to die with a smile. It's like willing to transform because there's a hope, there's a knowing of what's next, and what's next is to be next to you. So it's like willing to go through the fire for love. Something about okay, I'm just gonna keep going through the notes that I wrote. But it's like the most irrational is the most instinctive. If you blindly follow it, you can fall. If you recognize it and fight against it, eventually you realize it's the call to your destiny. If you allow it to lead you, taking the leap, that's trusting in divinity. So this song gives me the impression of the masculine finally realizing they're, you know, maybe not finally. It's the awareness of the synchronicity that the divine masculine and feminine both are in synchronicity, are in union, are in, you know, they're having these epiphany moments simultaneously, and that is what is like the spiritual language or the connection that gets made to recognize going one step closer in the right direction, so to speak. Take that as you will, maybe towards each other, towards one's greater self, towards one's most meaningful self. I mean, however, whatever spectrum of light you choose to look at the situation through, in terms of, it could be um, as tangible as someone new entering your life. And this could be very like heartfelt energy. A lot of love or a lot of opening of the heart chakra. There's a song that came through. I mean, it was like loud, giving him something he can feel to let him know this love is real. It kept emphasizing this love is real, giving him something he can feel. Every time I do the readings, I'm not as inclined to sing the song when I'm doing the readings recorded. In person, the readings, it's very dramatic, right? You know, in the moment that the energies come through, I act them out or I'll play them out, or, you know, it's like you can see it very clearly. I wish I could do it on the video sometimes, but there we all have that mask, or that concealment, or that aspect of protection, I guess you can say, that keeps us from exposing all our colors, right? I don't know, maybe that's just me. So, the most irrational is the most instinctive. If you blindly follow it, you can fall. If you recognize it and fight against it, eventually you realize it's the call to your destiny. And if you allow it to lead you, taking the leap, that's trusting in divinity. I feel like that's what this love feels like. It's like I'm willing to take this leap of faith in this love, because it's like there's nothing to lose. What is there to lose? I mean, and what is there to fear? There's nothing to fear. It's taking that leap in faith of knowing this is the moment, or this is that shift, or this is that point in time, or this is that opportunity that shows up, that it's like I've been waiting for this. I knew it was coming. I expected it. And it's not in an arrogant way. It's in the way of saying, I've seen the energies play out enough, or I've intended this for a long time, and the signs were there. I knew it was about to be because I felt it, or I had a gut instinct, or something just told me. Whatever, however you say it, express it, know it, you just know. I see it, I know. And so I want to sing these songs, but not here. Not here, not now. Maybe somebody is feeling shy, or is feeling kind of uncomfortable being weird. Oh yes, weird. Let's talk about weirdness and sexuality. Talking, exposing, expressing in some way sexual energy, okay? Whether it's a conversation about it, whether it's, I don't know, it's just, it can be misconstrued depending on who's discussing it, or with whom is being discussed. There's some kind of issue between either generations, or between belief systems, or in delivery of conversation or context. So I can say that I know I'm extremely direct, and I can be very, like there's something fake about being very politically correct, or being very, what's the word? Yeah, like using the proper terms, right, for certain words, and it comes across as tiptoeing around the subject, and it's not to become vulgar either. That's too extreme, but there's a way, or a language that is, things are spoken of when it comes to sexual nature or sexuality, and if it's spoken too vulgarly, it becomes something that is misconstrued. If it's spoken of too, I guess, what's the word, layman's terms, or too, I don't know what the word is, too properly, so to speak, it becomes almost like disconnected from what it actually is. And to be called weird just for being able to speak on a matter very, it goes to show the level of uncomfortability that there is with certain subjects. So perhaps there's some kind of weirdness in terms of how people express, or discuss, or talk about sex. Okay, I don't know. Maybe that's a theme. Okay. the song "Come On Eileen" came through, and I couldn't understand. I mean, the reason it even became something to bring up, again, the patterns, the it showed up at an event that I was at on Saturday, and I was like, oh wow, okay, interesting, because it is a song that I like. It's obviously an old song, but it showed up at the it was there at the event. So I when it showed up now, I said, let me listen to what it's talking about, because I don't even know. I know the hook, I guess you could say, of the song, but I didn't really know the lyrics. But he says, now you are grown, now you have shown these things, they are real, and I know, so grown. Come on, Eileen, how you feel now, I must say, more than ever. Things around here have changed, I said. Okay, that was it for that. It's about the change. It's about like something about like now we can see like the fathers. So it's being able to see the bigger picture. Now you are grown and now you have shown. It's like, come on, Eileen. It's like he's basically inviting her into like his reality. These things, they are real, and I know it's like something he knows that now she's grown, now she knows too. We both know, so grown. It sounds kind of like like when they do bar mitzvahs or quinceañera or something. It's symbolic of you've transitioned, you've transformed from a child into an adult. You're so grown. Um, so we had that one song, giving him something he can feel to let him know this love is real. And then the Aaliyah song, when they say, can y'all really feel me? East Coast feel me, West Coast feel me. So something about feeling me. Doesn't like the connection again. I feel like this is a divine masculine, divine feminine, like actually touching in real time, actually being together in real time. And when we say real time, what we're saying is, there's connections that you have where obviously you're not in the physical. However, what the point was that it's like it doesn't have to be physical touch, actual, but it's tangible. It's not just a dream, or it's not just a deja vu kind of energy. It's not covered in Neptune. It feels very like I can. It's like there's evidence, okay? Some kind of evidence. Are you that somebody? Are you responsible? Say yes or say no, because I really need somebody. Tell me you're that somebody. So you could be asking this person this. Are you responsible? Say yes or say no. Like, this is sounding more like an interrogation. So maybe someone's going through some kind of, maybe they feel like it's an interrogation. Um, but it's also possible that, this is the dialogue that someone is having, about someone. Are you responsible? Like, I just want to hear yes or no. I just like somebody wants it cut and dry. I just want to know, because they really need, because I really need somebody. Tell me you're that somebody. It's almost like to prove you are this person. You are, like, someone knows something about their destiny, or they knew this was meant to be. Something about this situation is like, holy shit. Like, it's they feel I keep getting like they feel like you're somebody they're expecting. I don't know how to describe that. It's like maybe on a spiritual level, they have an understanding of who you are, and now they're seeing it tangibly that that's who you are to them, or vice versa. Take that as you will, the energies. Sometimes I'm sometimes I'm goody good. Right now I'm naughty. Is it my go or is it your go? So maybe they don't know, like, are they supposed to make the next move? Are you supposed to make the next move? Is somebody supposed to go? Is somebody supposed to do something? Like somebody's wondering, am I supposed to do something? Like, should I initiate this here? What is this? It could be initiate a phone call, initiate an action, initiate a conversation, a negotiation. But there's something about being good and being bad. Like someone maybe has two sides to them. Somebody has a double life, or somebody is very much in touch with their shadow self, or can maneuver between their shadow and their higher self. Also, Virginia could be significant. And again, the direction we had mentioned, the East Coast feel me, West Coast feel me, but something about being central to and then being able to travel north and south equally or balanced in a even way, or finding a middle, a central spot where the distance is equal, north and south. Take that as you will. At last, my love has come home. So someone can feel like finally, uh, my that's a Etta James song. At last, and life is like a song. Okay. I don't know if I should do these cards. Okay. So let's do it like this. I feel like I'm leaving out some information here. But, and I'm not going to go to, I always say I'm not going to do something and then I do. I do what I say I'm not going to do sometimes. Like when I say no, and then I feel bad that I said no, and I'm like, actually, I think I can, so I will. And I do. And that's not cool when some people take advantage of that. It's not nice. It's not nice at all. Okay. Oh, Lordy, Lord. Let's see if we can go through this. Aries, I see a connection with the rope here. This is 8th house energies, okay? I feel like maybe there's some kind of sacred truth about who you are, some kind of, maybe you're hiding something. Maybe there's something hidden, unconscious to you. Perhaps there's something to do with resources and other people's money. Perhaps there's contracts that you're dealing with. Let's get clarity, Aries. See? Marriage, a home, perhaps something that's really stable, that's very creative, that you get to do or have. It could be the ideal partnership, whether it's in business or love. I feel like there's some union here, and this union feels very balanced. Again, like equal on all parts. And the number 4, again, significant. We had the 4 directions. And now we have the number 4 here. I heard the song again from Etta James. At last. Maybe that's like a wedding song. My love. I can't do it. Lord have mercy. My throat has come home. I forgot the words. My lonely days are over. Oh my lonely days are over with the Queen of Cups. Perhaps this is going to be a very like nurturing, very loving, very receptive time for you, Aries. A time where you're going to be nurtured, a time where you're going to feel really, really loved, taken care of, protected, safe, spoiled. Oh my. Cared for very, very much. Somebody gets what's the word? This sensation makes somebody feel different. It triggers an aspect within them that they're not used to. They're not used to it, so it's like exciting. It makes the legs jittery. Oh. Okay. Are we done with Aries? Should we move on to Taurus? Oh, happy birthday, Taurus. One more. Oh, look at that. Aries, this new opportunity is going to be very lucrative. Very, very lucrative. Somebody's going to bring you an offer. I feel like it's going to be a new beginning for you. You may have raised your standards at this point, and perhaps for you that was a leap of faith to stand in that truth and say, no, these are my values, or no, this is who I am, or no, this is what I'm worth, or this is I feel like you stood your ground when it comes to, you know, what you can do, what you bring to the table. You bring the fire, and they're willing to pay for that. They're willing to offer you a very lucrative amount for your creative spark, for your ideas, for your strategies. I love this reading. All right, let's go on to Taurus. Tauro. You have the wrench. That's 5th house energies. Okay? 5th house energies is about love and passion and children. But maybe there's something in the background going on, like something hidden going on. Oh, we have a Queen of Swords. This is Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Maybe you have a relationship. Maybe you see the truth. Maybe there's a woman in your life that is expressing some truth about something that was hidden. Something to do with holding on to money or control, or somebody was holding on to something. Maybe you were holding on to something and someone was trying to expose a truth about what you have. But we have the 3 of Cups in reverse. I feel like maybe someone was trying to hold on to staying connected to their friends, or staying connected to their people they care about, but someone else was making them choose and they didn't want to let it go. It's like they had 3 on one side and 1 on the other. This could be like three friends here and a spouse over here, or a, you know, this job and these three projects. Take the energy as you will, but I feel like maybe you, Taurus, you stood your ground, you stayed put, you held on tight, and there's like this thing happening, trying to, either one person wants you to see the truth of this group that's a bad influence, or this person is trying to make you choose, it's either me or them. Oh my. But this group is in reverse. Whatever they're celebrating is either not good, you know what I mean? Like it's a victory based on something negative, or I do not feel like you got lured by whatever this influence is, because I see you very, very much holding down your fort. Although this Queen of Swords is supported by either this love, maybe there's a secret love between you and a Queen of Swords. I say secret because it's in the dark. This is fifth house in reverse. So it could be like a secret, like maybe something bonds you, like a secret love child, or some sexual connection that no one knows about. Something, or some love that's, maybe the love is just hidden. Maybe this person doesn't express their love very much to you. Maybe you don't express your love, but it's like it's there. It's there, it's just in the dark. Whatever this is, this connection feels like I don't see you being influenced by either side, but I think you know that this person is telling the truth, this air sign. But it's like they can't really convince you mentally, they can't convince you emotionally, they can't move you. It's like you're yielding, or not yielding, well, maybe that's the word, but you're like blocking out any influence on either side to move you. Why though? Should we go more? Yes, we should. Well, there was some kind of exchange. There was some kind of giving back. I feel like maybe you gave to this Queen of Swords. You perhaps offered them something. Oh my. Something was offered to this Queen of Swords. And there was some conflict in this group. So I don't know if it was like a payoff to create a conflict. Did they maybe create a lie about the group, or did they, but this is you here. It's like you're trying to keep the balance. So it's like maybe you were giving to the less fortunate, or you were maybe giving to someone that you felt needed help. You provided some kind of assistance to this Queen of Swords. Maybe this was a marriage, like I said, a marriage contract. You were paying child support, or you were paying for their family member, or something about this feels like you were trying to be generous to keep things balanced, or to keep things peaceful. And I also see that this person this person is very integrous, so I don't think that they were paid to create any conflict here, but maybe you gave them a little something because you knew that they were honest, because you knew that they were telling the truth about a conflict that occurred in this group. So you felt a certain like loyalty to give. but you kind of like decided to keep your, this is it, like you're not going to go below your budget. You're not going below your, it's like you gave up some of your money for this person. So out of a sense of loyalty, or out of sense to make keep things in balance, or out of a sense to do things the right thing. So I feel like that's why they don't, it's almost, oh, so perhaps your tactic was, I'm going to give to them and make and balance the scales, because now no matter how right they are, I can still hold my own. I don't have to listen to them. I can if I want to, but it's not an obligation. It's not, and I'm not authorized to do so by force in any way. So it's like you freed yourself owing a certain loyalty to someone just by virtue that they know better than you or something like that. It's like, okay, you have the right to know better than me, but I don't owe you my submission. I don't have to submit to you. And that's great. And maybe that's why you're protected from this influence's backlash. Maybe they're talking trash. Maybe you had to walk away. Maybe you had to call them out. And that's why they're no longer having fun. They can't have fun at your expense anymore. If they were, they can't. They had to walk away from a conflict because of the truth. So take that energy as you will. Next. Next. All right, Gemini. Gemini, 'tis you. We have what? What do we have? The dagger in reverse. So this is a third house energies in reverse. This is either a lot of miscommunication, a lot of I feel like this is a congested area. Like your neighborhood might feel loud or dull. Consider, whatever is whatever makes you not want to communicate, or whatever makes you not want to engage. It feels either dull or boring, or it's not. Maybe you just want silence. Maybe you just need quiet time. You're getting in touch with your creativities. You're finding passion again. So it's like you're letting go of thinking, and you want to just you have a burst of energy. You feel hopeful. You feel inspired. You feel seen. You feel free. You feel something about that song, Eileen. Come on, Eileen. Something he says in the song is like, in the red dress, like basically something about taking off the red dress and like basically being naked. And look, the star is here and she is naked. So it's almost like seeing someone's true form, seeing someone in their authentic self, or seeing someone as a star. Someone could be seeing you, the true you, all of you, feeling you in a way that you feel in touch with humanity. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Look, your card, the Lovers, Gemini. You feel in touch with humanity. You feel connected to your divine self. You feel connected to your twin flame, your divine lover, your soulmate, your guardian angel, however, whichever applies to you, okay? Any label that is not for you, you don't have to accept those. But the Lovers is the integration, it's the union, it's the feeling of wholeness, it's the feeling of the most the most balanced, the most inspired, the most in touch with humanity, with God's grace, with goodness. And obviously, some people would say, well, if it's goodness, there has to be badness. Okay, with divine wholeness, just feeling whole with life, the good, the bad, the ugly. Here's your card again, Gemini. Very synchronistic with, the cards coming out, considering we have the third house, considering we have the Lovers as a Gemini card, and then here we have the Knight of Swords. This is also Gemini, but it could also be Libra or Aquarius energy because it's the air signs. But this is a younger air sign. It could also just be that ideas are moving quickly. Communication is happening fast. Someone sees the truth and it's just coming to them very, very rapidly. Or let's reconsider that, because we have here the Knight of Wands in reverse, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But this is also movement. This is like passion gets halted or gets confronted by truth. Okay, so what I'm seeing is that this energy, it's like there's it's almost like Mars and Mercury. I'm seeing Mars and Mercury, Mars being in reverse here. Take that as you will. Halted actions or somebody being petty towards this air sign. It could be a conflict between action and thought. That causes some kind of burden for this fire sign. Oh, Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. Is this like, because we have the third house in reverse. This is like communication in reverse. This could be maybe like Mercury retrograde. I don't know. Are we in retrograde? Are we going to be? Are we out of it? Honestly, I don't know. But it's giving Mercury retrograde energy. Okay, perhaps you're reminiscing. Perhaps this is what you're integrating the memory of, or the thought of. This passionate love that healed your mind, or healed or you integrated. This is Aquarius energy also, like integrating humanity in a passionate way. Take the energies however they come through for you, because this could be anything. You found a newfound passion for music, for your children, for yourself, for your partner, for healing yourself, any of those things. But I feel like there was a conflict between taking action or not taking action versus communicating, or not being able to communicate in action, meaning it had to be processed perhaps before taking action to avoid a burden. That's how I'm seeing it. Or maybe looking back at how something did cause a burden. So now being able to see things clearly, being able to communicate effectively, avoiding taking negative actions so that we don't create burdens for ourselves, or hard labor, hard work. That's part of a judgment. Maybe that was what was determined or decided We're not going to act out ignorantly. Perhaps we're going to think about our actions to avoid um, taking on more than we can handle, or overburdening ourselves creatively, energetically, actively speaking. Because that would be the breakdown of a family, or the breakdown of a love, of a marriage, of a dream. Hmm. Something feels like it's just bringing up the past versus, I feel like where things are for Gemini now is at this integration point where the lovers is, and this was the backdrop of all that. It's why the retrograde or the communication is in reverse, why there's no communication, why the spark is now there, and loving humanity and healing that aspect feels to me like these are the that's what led, that's what created all of this. And then this was the final card, is the truth. Either someone sees that truth, or someone speaks that truth, or someone understands that truth. True. Ooh, did you hear that? I said truce. Understands that truce. Consider. Maybe somebody made a truce, like I don't want to say a deal, but a truce is, okay, we might agree to disagree. It's a truce. And that's what brings some kind of peace, or that's what brings some kind of integration, hope in humanity, or something where someone can now see clearly, the bigger picture of a matter. All right. Wow. All right, Gemini. Let's move forward to I was going to say Capricorn, but clearly it's Cancer. Cancer, you could be dealing with an Aquarius. Okay, we have Miss Peacock here. You could be creating you can be in love. Oh. There might be a Aquarius that you're thinking about that is in despair over this connection with you being, it's like a past connection with you. Someone from your past. Maybe this Aquarius is from your past. It's possible you're reminiscing, or they are thinking of you, but when they think of you, they are in despair. Because either they didn't know that they were a soulmate, or they regret something about their connection. Maybe they were karmic, but there's something they don't want to face, or they're like in disbelief, or they're in despair over some connection. It's possible that maybe you're very stable at this time, Cancer. You have a beautiful family. You feel very blessed, graced with, just, tangible wealth, a great career, great living. However you see it, you're secure, you're set, you're settled, you're living your dream. But there's someone from your past that they suffer at the sight of this, or it could just be like, that could have been me, they might be feeling a certain way. This person was very manipulative. I don't know why Spirit wants you to understand this energy right now. Maybe they want you to feel very proud of the strength that you've displayed, and how you've it's like you're maybe even unrecognizable in terms of what you overcame to be where you are. The person or the people that manipulated or hurt you, they're seeing your strength, they're seeing what you've achieved, and that is your justice. That's justice. And I don't wish that upon anyone, but this is just the way it is. They're either having nightmares about it, they can't sleep, they're anxious, they're feeling overwhelmed with the realization of how they either, like I said, they didn't, it seems that they were being manipulative, okay? The magician in reverse. They were either they lied a lot, or they misconstrued things a lot to create confusion, but they manipulated emotionally, or they just did not understand the depth of this connection that they had to you, or that the love that you were offering, that the purity of the love you were offering them. It was pure love, and they didn't see it. This person could have been very unhappy, or they are unhappy. They're just very unhappy. Could have been dealing with an emperor, or maybe they're unhappy that now you're with an emperor. Maybe they thought they were an emperor, and they see you now, they realize, oh my God, you're with an emperor. Now they can see the difference of how you saw them. It's almost like you projected perhaps onto this person emperor status, or maybe that's just what you expected, an emperor. I see you as an emperor. This is what you are to me, something like that. And now you have that, or you created that, or you built that, or you manifested exactly what you always wanted. That is your justice. And I think that's what hurts this person, that maybe you gave them this opportunity to be just that in your life. And because they were miserably lonely and depressed, poor unfortunate soul, in pain, in need, longing to be thinner, wants to get the girl. And then you help them. Yes, indeed. But it happened once or twice, and someone couldn't pay the price. Let me stop being so petty. You had to rake them across the globe. All right. You were a saint to that poor unfortunate soul. All right. That was your reading, Cancer. You got your justice. You got your justice. All right, maybe not. Okay, you got your I don't mean maybe not justice, but I'm saying maybe we're not done with your reading here. There is a new beginning. I feel like you're going to start something new, but it might not be what you might be. Let's say that spirit might feel that this is not the right beginning for you. Should I get more clarity on that for you, Cancer? I feel like maybe it's not time for this change, okay? It's not going to grow if you do it right now. And that's what you want. You want this new beginning to be in love. So be very mindful of a new beginning, Cancer, okay? I feel like what I read for you in terms of your justice and that person, okay, boom. You've accomplished a certain level in your life. Now you're secure financially, maybe married, maybe just like ideal home life, career, whatever. All right, boom. But what's the next level for you? This new beginning. You want to take like a new, you want to start new, fresh, something different. But Spirit might be stopping it because it will not, I don't want to say that it's just going to die out, or like maybe whatever, that new beginning, that that inspiration to start is gonna quick. It's like, let's say I want to start that new diet, but that inspiration dies out real quick, and you're like, no, I'm not ready to do that yet. It's like you're not fully there. You're not fully committed to something, and spirit is stopping it to avoid that, because they're trying to say you have to be fully invested emotionally. You have to really love it. You have to really love this if you want this new beginning. You have to really, really want this. Okay? All right, Cancer. Who is next? Leo. Leo, like Gemini, you have this kind of synchronicity because we have the fifth house energy, which is the house that you rule. But there might be a lot of chaos energy right now in your environment. Maybe just within. Maybe you feel this stirring of passion. Maybe you feel like a need to a little drama. Just a little drama. Just a little fire under the belly. Oh. You might be feeling like there was something that you should have invested in that you didn't. You might be feeling like you should have put the work into something that you didn't put the work into. You might be feeling like you're no longer willing to invest in something that at one point you wanted to invest in. Clarify, please, Spirit. Oh, a Tower. I feel like you put an end to something. You're no longer investing in dynamics that shock you. And I don't mean that you're easily shocked. I'm just saying that, like drama, it's like you're all about drama. You don't mind a little bit of passionate arguing perhaps. But maybe, just maybe, you're not willing to lose everything over a partnership that's a little too chaotic. Okay? And maybe you had a realization of what you invested in didn't pay out, and that's a Tower, or someone didn't invest properly in you, and that's a Tower for you, or that person could have been someone you loved very much, someone you were very passionate about, but maybe you don't want the same things anymore. Maybe you don't feel that you guys have the same goal. Maybe things are suspicious, and the way you look at things, it's like, okay, I don't know if I can trust you. Trust is a big deal because something's going on. That conflict is blinding, and you're not interested in anything that's going to keep you from seeing what's really going on behind the scenes. And I feel like you sense that something's going on behind the scenes, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And if it's not that is happening now, it's probably what you already experienced and are, maybe realizing, oh, I'm not going to fall for that again, or I'm not going through that cycle again. I'm not going to be misled with people that don't have the same ideals as me. You don't want the conflict. There's a lot of competition. Maybe you don't want to compete for a situation, or you don't want someone competing for your attention. But there's some kind of competition here. We have a King of Cups. So we have some very nurturing energies from Cancer, a water sign, Scorpio, or Pisces. So maybe you don't want something that's so extreme passion, right? It's like maybe what you want is a little bit more consideration, more care, more thoughtfulness, more loving, more spiritual, a connection that's a little more sensitive, a connection, a commitment. you're wanting something that's more reliable. Yeah, it's like no more lies, no more deceit, no more trickery behind my back. I don't know if this is you, Leo, that we're dealing with someone like this, or this is just where you stand in terms of your romantic partnerships. That you're not investing in dynamics that are gonna uh, blow the top off of your lifestyle. They're not gonna change. You don't want something that's gonna completely change how you do you. Okay, there's a sense of not falling for illusions anymore, or this false competition putting you in some kind of conflict. I feel like you feel very stable emotionally. You know what kind of people you want to work with, or you want to engage with, or you want to make deals with. And it has nothing to do with people that are deceitful, dishonest, or people that you have to keep looking over your shoulder because of. People that betray your trust, people that break your heart, people that make you um, feel in disbelief when it comes to love. Because I feel like you're very genuine. You want to give love very openly. You're very, I don't want to say naive at all, but just very open, like a teenager when it comes to love. Like you want to love with that kind of freedom. I want to just give my heart to you, and that's how you feel. You know, that's your pride. You take pride in creating um, a love that feels romantic. That is what you pride yourself on. That's what you stand on. It's like you are very your sincerity in love. Okay, and perhaps that's what's made you unstable in the past. You're probably realizing what actually slowed you down was that sense of pride in being the most romantic, being the most chivalrous. Perhaps that energy, Leo, made you feel vulnerable, or made you feel taken advantage of, or made you feel like it's not worth investing in that kind of passion, because it leads to a certain level of instability, or a lot of competition, or making you do too much. You just want someone you can rely on, someone that is that won't be deceitful, that is genuine in love, but you're not attached either to the, how to put it, it's not a competition for you anymore. It's like just a matter of who you are and accepting it. You know who you are, and you're not competing to be the best this or the best that. It's, you're not attached to, maybe someone was using your pride against you, and that's how they were able to deceive you. So you're being a little bit more practical, less, in the illusion of romance. You're understanding not to get carried away, romantically speaking. And that's how you stay satisfied and happy, content. I think you're very proud of yourself. You're proud of yourself because you managed to control your passions. You managed to control your desire to love openly, genuinely, honestly. Like it's like you have to be grounded not to give all of yourself. Okay? And sometimes you have to not give all of yourself, because if you don't understand who you're giving all of yourself to, and you end up used and abused, and you don't want that. Okay, so who's next? Virgo. No, yes, Virgo. Virgo, you have a Aries here. You could be dealing with an Aries, or you can be um, working on yourself. I feel like you're focusing on yourself to the point that you're not paying attention to opportunities, or ignoring opportunities, or blocking opportunities, or not providing opportunities because you're focused on yourself. Take the energy as you will. You're very intuitive at this time, maybe considering that you're very much in your high priestess energy. Maybe you're being called to go within at this time, within yourself, to get away from connections that are limiting your ability to be with yourself. You need to maybe be in silent time with yourself. I feel like there's a recovery you're being called to recover, Virgo, from a betrayal. A betrayal. A betrayal to the Empress. Now, this Empress card is very much associated with you, Virgo. She is the most nurturing of mothers. She's the mother of all mothers. And Virgo, I feel like you tuning into that aspect of yourself, it's possible that you're being asked to get in touch with your intuition about your mother, or about you as a mother, or healing the core wound of the mother. This is not a matter of thinking logically. You're being asked to put down the sword, to put down all thinking, suspend the thinking process. That to trust your instincts and go into and just intuit it. Just intuit it. Feel through it. This isn't something to practicalize, not something to analyze, not something to think about. Just be with your core intuitive self, or the core mother, going deep into that core mother wound. Why would we want to do that? Why? Because there may be a very deep sadness to heal there. That maybe. This could have been a King of Wands in reverse, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius in reverse that caused the wound. So Virgo, this feels to me more like a personal choice, okay? This is not something I'm asking you to do myself, but you might be healing a core wound. You may have blocked up, maybe, let's just assume, maybe you've been taking action towards a career, or taking actions towards things that you're passionate about, but they are not, either not moving quickly enough, or not happening, or whatever. Opportunities are not. And the reason could be that you're being called to go into your high priestess. You're being called to go into your feelings, deeply into your emotional state, go into yourself. not into others. Walk away from others. Again, I'm not advising you to do anything. I am giving you the energies, how they're coming out. It would seem that you're being advised. To be with yourself for this healing, this betrayal, maybe to heal the mind. The mind of this Empress energy. Maybe there's a belief about the Empress. Maybe there's a core wound, a core betrayal, okay, to this Empress. This is the part of you that nurtures and loves and heals and gives with no inhibition. In other words, it's like the love just pours out of you to the wounded, to the innocent, to the ones you just protect, to the ones you feel a call to protect. And I feel like there's a wound there, perhaps through a King of Swords in reverse. Maybe someone said something really harsh. Maybe someone created a mental burden that was challenging, very emotionally draining, maybe physically draining. Could have been a King of Wands or King of Swords, okay? But either way, I feel like it's in your interest to take the time to yourself to avoid being trapped in some kind of very negative cycle that would keep you feeling trapped or victimized or out of control or out of some kind of authority in your own life. This feels like a very serious message for Virgo. And if it's not you, Virgo, you could be dealing with an Aries that might be going through this or might need to go through this. Or this could possibly be what's been feeling like it's this is like the devil energy keeping opportunities from coming, whether you feel like you're blocking them or it's being blocked from you, or that people are out of touch emotionally, or that you're out of touch with people or with someone, whether it's out of touch with the job you want, or out of touch with your health, or out of touch with love connections, whether that's family or a partner. I feel like this healing would benefit to avoid being stuck in maybe it could even be a job that makes you feel like you're going to hell every day. So maybe if you heal that core wound, you avoid that experience, or you heal that bondage, that thing that has either wants to trap you or has made you feel trapped in the past. Okay, so you're being asked to invest in yourself, invest in your healing. Stop looking out there for your stability. Stop looking out there for opportunity, because they're not going to be found out there. I feel like this is a time to invest in yourself. Take that energy as you will. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I take these energies for myself as well, so this is for Libra, you have, oh, Mayor Green in reverse. This is a Scorpio energy. You might have been committed to a Scorpio, Libra, or you have a commitment to a Scorpio that's in reverse. Maybe connection feels unaligned at this time. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I feel like the connection feels unbalanced, or like you're not connected, or you can't connect, or you cannot bond, or some relationship with the Scorpio has ended. Libra, maybe your commitment to a Scorpio is done. Maybe your relationship to a Scorpio is completed. It's possible, Libra, that you're currently in this Queen of Pentacles energy. You're feeling very secure, very grounded with yourself. This could be also, you could be dealing with a Queen of Swords energy, I'm sorry, not Aquarius, but hey, it came through. Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo individual. This is also the like a spouse card. So this person could have been a spouse, because we also have the Hierophant. So it's like a marriage. But it's a marriage to, it's like a sacred bond has completed a cycle. I say sacred because it's with Scorpio, these connections are very, very pure. These contracts are very deep. These contracts are very tied in to a certain, it's tied into the soul in some way, okay? It's like it's a soul connection, no matter how you look at it. But this connection has completed a cycle. Take it as you will. We have a child, or a new creative process, or a new endeavor, Libra. This is Page of Wands is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. This is fire. You could be inspired or getting new inspiration. The Wheel of Fortune here is in reverse. So you may be inspired to change, or inspired, I was going to say you may be inspired to change, but that's being blocked. Or you may be inspired not to change. I'm going to need clarity, because you have the Page of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Page of Cups in reverse. So it's like after you complete this cycle, you may want to start a new beginning, but it's like you're being halted or stopped. Uh-oh, Libra. You're not going to be able to move forward without this being something you love. This is like the message, who had that? Cancer. There's like a stipulation. The stipulation says, okay, you could divorce, or you could separate, or you can end this contract. Okay? You're not bound to a contract here. That cycle closed. Okay? Yes, you are going to be granted a new beginning. in this new beginning, you could be very passionate about it, but you will not be fortunate. You will not be fortunate unless you have love to give. Oh my gosh. Unless you give love, can't move forward. That's balance, temperance. That spirit is tempering your, is bringing balance in your love life. Okay, this is more spiritual balance. If anything, um, this is also the bigger picture of love. It's like you could pretend, oh, let's just have a passe dynamic. Let's just have sex and see what happens, or let's just play around, whatever. Like not really taking love very seriously, or connecting seriously, but you're being told no. You cannot uh, you cannot create with the universe without love. You cannot create with the universe without love, or you're going to find yourself being balanced out by spirit in order to get you unstuck of things that you would otherwise create mentally. Mental burdens would be created, problems that would get you stuck if you don't look clearly, if you don't look at the things with a discerning eye, if you're not looking at things with the understanding, with the healing behind it, wisdom behind it, listening to your higher self, okay? It's like, what I'm getting here, Libra, is that you want commitment, you want security, but you had to break with a Scorpio energy that was in reverse. This could have been, passion gone rogue. Consider that however you will. A connection that severed and had to end, okay? Although now you are being given a new beginning, you are inspired, you feel the passion, you're ready to take that leap of faith. Things are not going to change, things are not going to profit, things are not going to benefit, things are not going to move forward in abundance if you don't have any love in it. If it's not about genuine love that you're offering or giving or feeling, okay? And that is a spiritual balance. That is some way taking place. That is how you stay aligned to spirit in a way that keeps you out of trouble mentally, keeps you out of feeling trapped, feeling blinded, feeling betrayed in ways that you could not even imagine. So you have to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to see the wisdom in what you're doing or creating. You're not going to be able to discern what it is that you've created. With the Queen of Wands in reverse, something you would loathe, or something that would either create envy, anger, jealousy, misuse of power, manipulation, intuition being used incorrectly. I feel like a lot of warning energies. I feel like you're trying to avoid being left out in the cold as much as possible. There's this energy, Libra, like this is like saying, okay, you ended a commitment that you had to end, or now you know what you want, you know what had to end, and finally it's like the clean slate. It feels like clean slate, and You're more than enthusiastic to begin, but Spirit is giving a very strong reminder. And that reminder is that your ideal when it comes to relationships is to remain in balance, is to remain give and take, is to remain the higher love as the vision, so that you're not trapped in making unwise decisions based on, not seeing things for what they are and getting caught up in victim energies of some sort. Okay. All right, let's move on to Scorpio. Scorpio, we have the Six of Wands in reverse and the billiard room in reverse for you. So with the billiard in reverse, I feel like you're no longer working towards, there's something to do with a job that isn't working out, or a job that you no longer want to move forward with, or work that you don't want to do. Because you don't have to run away from another situation. I feel like you were doing something because maybe you felt that you had to run away from something. You were doing a certain job because you were afraid that you had to run away. But now that you're no longer running from a situation, you find stability, you find wealth where you didn't see it before. The King of Pentacles is a security. This could be also dealing with manifesting this King of Pentacles, a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo energy. Could also be manifesting, a stable career, stable money. I feel like you may have been suspended or in suspension about this. Like maybe things were hanging in the balance for you. You had to see things differently. You had to change perspectives. Maybe you just had to see things differently about yourself in order to manifest. I feel like there was a idea of independence that you had that maybe was wrong. Or maybe you looked at independence or being alone or being single or being, maybe you don't see it that way anymore. Maybe you don't see independence in the same way, or maybe you thought someone had a certain, maybe what you were aiming towards in terms of success, you were going about it the wrong way. It's possible you were working in an environment based on an idea of running from a problem or a conflict. You were working in a situation that came about due to a conflict that you were running from. And then you had to pause and look at the situation from a different perspective, because your perspective on independence was reversed, or your perspective on independence or wealth and being a privileged person was not wasn't in the best light, so to speak. And now you've been enlightened, or now you see things differently, and like your self-worth is through the roof. You're no longer confused about who you are. You're no longer confused. You know how to balance. You know how to juggle. You know how to move money. You know how to stay in balance with yourself. Even in times when things are not fulfilling you, or things are, getting stagnant, you see opportunity. Like when things start to get stagnant and opportunity shows up, you know what to do with that opportunity when it shows up now, because you can see the truth. Okay? So that was for you, Scorpio, let's move on to Sagittarius. Okay. Hold on, because obviously I used up all the cards. I'm trying to get out the card from the clue game. There it is. All right. Scorpio in reverse was trying to blend in with the cards. Like, let me just hide out here. Maybe they don't see me. So I don't know what that's about. All right. Sagittarius, you have Dr. Orchid in reverse. So this is fourth house energies in reverse. Maybe something in the home doesn't feel like it's growing, that you wanted to grow. Maybe now there's a certain conflict or defending yourself or protecting yourself. Maybe you feel like you don't fit in. Maybe you feel like you don't fit in your community. You feel like you have to defend yourself, your position. Like you want to be able to connect with your environment. You want to feel attached. That's your card. You're very much in your element, okay, right now, because this is, I know you're a Sagittarius, but it's like dealing with the home, you feel open emotionally, like okay, you know what makes you comfortable in the home, okay, but you're probably ready for a new beginning. Like you're realizing wherever you are isn't quite what truly is home for you. You had an epiphany. You're able to see things very clearly now. It's like you've been given a vision of your future. I feel like something wasn't manifesting when it comes to the home. It just didn't feel right, or like maybe you thought you were in the ideal home, and then all of a sudden, nope, that's not it. You felt maybe defensive, or you felt like protective, and now you're realizing, I know what I want. I know where my new beginning is. I can see it now. And that might cause a tower. It might cause a disruption in your lifestyle and everything. You may not want to, or someone may not want to invest because it might feel disruptive. You might disrupt someone. Oh my, what am I getting here for you, Sagittarius? I feel like you're this disruption. I feel like you're about to change things up because you no longer want to invest in what you were investing in. Oh gosh. You want love. I feel like maybe you thought you'd be at home in a situation that you were not at home with. And then the conflict arose because it just wasn't feeling right. And you made a decision to move on. Like it's like you see the truth. I'm ready to move on. I don't want to invest in what I was invested in. Could have been a belief about love, a belief about connection, a belief about being with another. I feel like you let go of social groups that you were attached to because you see the truth of them. You don't want to, those people don't feel like home for you. It's all about, being able to really see things for what it is. Like, I feel like you're a little bit cold right now, and cold in the sense because you know what love is. But this is like, it's a good feeling. I'm getting like, it feels like in order for us to know what we want, sometimes we have to really understand what we don't want. And I feel like you finally, something that you didn't you didn't invest in having to defend yourself, and it actually paid off because you know what you have to offer, so you were willing to move forward because you saw the truth of who you are, and that disrupted an entire system because you chose not to invest in fake connection or fake. Yeah, you know what love is, you know what you want, and I feel like you're manifesting it now that you've done away with exactly what, you know, like connections that were just based on a social status, or connections that were not, they didn't feel at home to you. They felt, I don't want to even say the word foreign, but just not being around you, the people that you really love, or the people that really love you. So I feel like you're open to spiritual love, a love that's balanced from a higher plane, a love that comes from spirit, that you know it in your spirit, it's the truth. This is what you're open to now. Maybe you let go of a karmic connection, of an old soulmate situation, or maybe your old ideal of love, and now you're being given the inspiration to see real love, to see with passion, or maybe to see your own dark side, maybe to see, you were given an opportunity to see yourself, um, maybe even at your worst, and that might have opened your eyes to realizing you're no victim, or to realizing, like, why did I, it's like, I don't know, I'm getting like, maybe you checked yourself. You had to see where you were uh undervaluing yourself because of some kind of loss, or some kind of loneliness, or some kind of pain didn't allow you to see. But you got out of it. You woke up from whatever had you blinded, okay? And it could have been an old ideal, because you realize that stuff never manifested. I was, it was asking me to constantly be on the defense. And it's like, I know what I offer, so I'm willing to walk away and start fresh. Like, I can look at things new. I can start fresh and with a pure heart. That was a revelation that you got, and it disrupted this entire system that you were invested in, that is now allowing for real love to enter, real love to show itself to you. But it required you to see the truth of your past associations, and the things that were not truly the definition of stability for you, or the definition of family for you, the definition of home for you. So the truth of love for you is that spiritual love is the truth. The truth for you is that an old karmic connection isn't enough to inspire passion out of you. It's like you were dealing with a child, and you have this huge flame, this huge passion, and you were dealing with someone who couldn't keep up with your passion, and they try to reject you, or make you feel rejected, or you felt rejected, or you had to reject the situation, or you felt maybe like isolated, or left out, or emotionally betrayed, like you couldn't believe it. So you put an end to that cycle completely, okay? And that is your victory, Sagittarius. That's your victory. Putting an end to a cycle that just, nope, it wasn't That was not home for you. That was never meant to be a home for you, whatever that dynamic was. Okay. We got death in reverse. So I feel like you avoided a complete ending. Like you were able to salvage some aspect of your, I guess maybe of your past, of who you were. Like you didn't lose all of yourself in whatever that was. And that was a huge victory for you, is that you were able to end a cycle that it was never real love, or it was never really what feeling at home was. Okay, so that's it, Sagittarius. Let's move on to Capricorn. Capricorn, you have the rope, so we have a commitment here. We have the truth, a true commitment that's going to bring fortune, that's going to bring positive changes. Oh my goodness, Capricorn. We have the Empress here. We have this is a true commitment. You're the Empress, or you're going to feel like the Empress, or you're going to be in Empress status. This person is going to love you like a goddess that you are, Capricorn. There's an opportunity for justice here, Capricorn. The truth is going to come in very quickly about why an opportunity didn't come in the past. There was something with illusion. Look, the High Priestess in reverse. So there was like a veil of illusion completely covering your ability to either see this opportunity or receive this opportunity, or this was just a lot of emotional manipulation, Capricorn. So the opportunity for justice is coming for this emotional manipulation, okay? And this love, this true commitment that's going to spoil you and have you in this Empress status, it's going to bring so much abundance for you. This is karmic justice for you, Capricorn. Oh my. Because somebody took an opportunity that was meant for you, okay, by creating illusions and a lot of darkness, a lot of dark manipulation, that's all. A lot of manipulation, okay? But don't worry. The truth is coming in quickly, and that is why you're receiving this justice for you. All right, so moving on to Aquarius. You have the kitchen in reverse here. This is third house energies in reverse. This is your neighborhood. I feel like you're putting energy into your neighborhood, and you made a judgment call. Maybe at some point you were feeling like it could be your siblings as well. Okay, maybe you weren't very connected to your siblings or feeling very connected with your siblings, but I feel like you're balancing things out, or you're giving back, or you made a judgment call that maybe maybe you gave enough and now you want to be independent. Like maybe maybe you just you're feeling generous because you're independent, Aquarius, because you have this privilege. You can give, whether it's give back to your community, give back to your family, like your siblings. You know, maybe you're feeling, I feel like this energy is showing that it's possible also that you're receiving a generous amount of charity, or you're giving an enormous amount of charity, a generous amount of charity. This is like some kind of spiritual, like a karma for working well with others, or for create. This is like maybe part of a contract, spiritual contract. Okay, yes, for okay, I'm getting like, I don't know why I'm hearing it like this, but I'm getting like a reward system for being honest. Maybe this is something in school. Maybe you have kids in school, or maybe you're in school. I don't know. Maybe they're giving money back, like an incentive for being independent, self-sustaining, working well with others. Maybe you're just getting accolades. Maybe you work well. Maybe you work independently. Maybe um, there's communication coming through, that you're getting a raise for integrity or something like that. Integrity, telling the truth. Maybe there was some kind of issue and you were outspoken about it. Maybe you told. It has to do with there was something to do with a family, that there was like a breakdown. Okay, so I'm getting like two different scenarios, Aquarius. On the one hand, I'm feeling that maybe things, it's like you're giving back to your neighborhood. Maybe like either your neighborhood or your siblings, right? The kitchen in reverse is where things were not in balance, where maybe you were isolating yourself from your family, or your surroundings were not in balance in some way. But then you chose to give back in order for, to do the right thing, or maybe you felt compelled to do the right thing, or someone felt compelled to do the right thing with you in order to bring balance to your relationship with them. Or maybe spirit, to balance out your environment, gave back as a reward for being independent, for working well with others, for being in integrity. Um, in the situation that caused a breakdown in the family. So take that as you will. There could have been some kind of issue with siblings. It could have been some issue with a marriage. It could have been an issue with not telling the truth when it comes to family, or when it comes to the stability in a home, or the love of a family or of a couple. But because there was this integrity, maybe there was there could have been problems in the past of some sort that are now being rewarded for good behavior. It's the only way it's coming through. It's showing that, there's genuine love here. It's showing that there's peace of mind. So it's like doing the right thing even when nobody's looking. And I think that's it. That's all. It's like it just feels like, yeah, it's like we can rest, we can rest easy here because we know that this is real love, or we know that we did the right thing, or we know that, you know, whatever this uh, whatever this was that was lost here is being repaired or is being resolved. Or so it could have been like a family conflict that's being resolved, it could be like a misunderstanding in the family, or it could have been like a disbursement of the family in a way that broke down the family connection and is now being brought back, um, being rewarded for doing the right thing. Like everybody did their part independently. People were doing their doing the right thing. Um, Whether it's like, you know, the family came up with a new motto, like we're all gonna, you know, work together as a team. We're gonna keep things, you know, positive. You know, there could have been something, and now it's being rewarded for, with peace of mind and love, because everyone was doing it. Um, Everybody was keeping up their end of the bargain, I guess you could say, or their end of their their part of the commitment. Okay, so take that energy as you will. Last but not least, Pisces, you have the library in reverse. Okay, this is seventh house energies in reverse, partnerships in reverse. A partnership with an emperor could be over. A emperor that had you confused and confusion and blinded to reality and tied up, feeling stuck, feeling isolated. Something that you moved away from. You got away from a very toxic relationship with an emperor that was deceitful. So clearly, this is a narcissistic spouse. Could have been Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus energy, this emperor, but somebody that was very manipulative with their uh, finances, manipulative with, you know, what they provide. So it's like, I'm providing for you, therefore I get to control you. I provide for you, therefore, you know, I I basically rule this connection. And it was one of those very toxic, very cruel realities that you had to face. It made you lose a lot of strength. It made you feel weak. It made you feel that things were not, you know, they weren't fair. They weren't, uh, this isn't marriage. This isn't love. This isn't um, moral. This isn't, uh, like you name it. This isn't legal. Like whatever, whatever this person was doing was completely unjustifiable. Okay, and they used religion to betray you in some way. So maybe they used your faith, or maybe they used your beliefs, or maybe they used your values against you. They isolated you. This person, oh my gosh, I don't even want to keep this reading. Why are we here? The betrayal was beyond belief. I mean, it was, this spirit couldn't intervene to heal it. The conflict was, the competition was, I'm hearing it was unreal. It was like, it was so, it was great. It was so, wow. I need something else here. All right, well, you shed light to this, Pisces, to this connection. You saw it. You you saw it for what it was. I feel like you had the opportunities available to see it. It was almost like it feels like magic. It's like somehow like you were protected from this experience. And not to say that it didn't happen, but this emperor that had you confused and stuck and that you moved away from, somehow you managed to get away from this toxic connection, okay? The abuse that they inflicted weakened you. It took away your stability, and as unmoral and unethical as it was, the betrayal, and as isolating as it could have made you feel, for whatever reason, spirit could not intervene in this conflict. And it's possible that perhaps you had to see the reality of this cruelty. It's like the fact that you were able to see it as opportunities for truth is what makes you a magician, okay? It's like maybe you disassociated from the pain it was creating. Maybe you disassociated from the reality as it was. And when you became this spiritual observer, when you shed light to it, you didn't react to it, you didn't respond to it, you just slowly moved away from the conflict. It transformed the situation. You made opportunities out of these very dark things. This person wanted to keep you in distrust. They didn't want you to look within. They didn't want you to trust yourself. You had to really you had to use all your gifts to see through this manipulation. Or it's like they really didn't want you to see the opportunity or the gift that you were going to receive for overcoming this what else can we call it? The devil. You outwitted the devil. You outwitted the devil. If you've never read that book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, it's so well written. It's humorous, but it's so insightful as well. So yeah, you outwitted the devil. This you can consider this person narcissistic, sociopathic, whatever. This was a very dark person with a very dark entity. They didn't have anything better to do with their time. This was a very very sluggish energy too. Very entitled and why can't we have anything positive here to talk about, Pisces? Because this is just a person that they were so full of themselves, and they rejected, like they were so dismissive with the gift that you were offering them. You offered very much genuine love. You were so loving. You were so giving. You were so patient. And you were so, this is you, Pisces, King of Cups. But you genuinely love this person. Like, you really genuinely love this person. And they didn't give you anything. It's like, you believed this was going to be the end all be all, that this was going to be the truest love, the most realist of love and stability you ever experienced, but it wasn't. It was a lie. and yet you healed even from that. It's like the ultimate dream. This person pretended they were bringing the ultimate dream and they brought the ultimate illusion. And it's like, okay, yet you were able to walk away from that and remain pure. So, because you didn't have to juggle with it. It was like, I guess you could say that you let go of trying to figure them out and you realize you know where you stand. It's like, if you're that blind to what I'm offering you, then clearly, you know, no amount of good is going to make you see otherwise. So you let go of investing, you let go of putting any energy into it, and you focus on just giving yourself the satisfaction of knowing what pure love is to yourself. I feel like you know how powerful you truly are. You know how powerful you are because you're satisfied. You're pure in your essence, and you're satisfied with what you've created for yourself. It's like you had to allow the illusion to pass in order to surpass the illusion. Okay? So that's all, folks. Woo-wee! That was long. So I'll come back soon, folks. Take care. Bye.